Hey guys, RTT back here for that video. Guys, I was on Twitter today and I actually saw this 4K render of the Surface Duo 2. So I want to go ahead and look at it today, talk about it, review it, kind of go over my ideas with this 4K render. But make sure you check out Warlick Clan HD. He did go ahead and post a video on this exact render. He made this render and they made a whole entire animation, like a commercial for this phone. And I will definitely say I watched it and it's absolutely awesome. So I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to his video because again, awesome. He actually posted this render on Twitter so we can go ahead and see it and kind of give our thoughts and opinions. But at the same time though, again, he does have his own YouTube channel, so not trying to steal his content in any way. He does have his own stuff going on. Let's go ahead though and take a look at what this actually looks like. So here is, first off, just for general ideas, here's what the actual leaked images of the Surface Duo 2 actually looks like. So these are actually pictures of the Surface Duo 2 from credible sources, and this is what it's going to look like. It has a gigantic camera bump on the back. We have the flash, we have the microphone, and of course we do have a flush display outside of that. We have a black model, and we also have a white model of this phone. So let's go ahead and take a look at what his renders and his stuff looks like. Now his renders look very similar to what we saw with that, obviously, those leaked images. Starting off right away, just things to point out is that right here on the sides we no longer have a fingerprint reader, and he does a really good job obviously taking that off. We just have a power button, and we also have a volume rocker. Now I'm not sure how the power button is exactly going to look. In the leak images we have right here, it looks like the power button is, I want to say, somewhat the same. It kind of looks like it could be a fingerprint reader, and a lot of people are speculating that power button will be a fingerprint reader. Actually, it's either going to be a fingerprint reader or we're going to have a fingerprint reader on the display like the Galaxy Note 20, or it could be, of course, a facial recognition. But my guess would be the power button will probably have a fingerprint reader in it, and it might look a little bit different than what he shows off here, but very, very flush when it comes to how this looks. Now, the big thing we could not see with the leaked images, either one of them, any of them, is that we could not see what this display will look like. And he does a really good job at showing off what we have seen in leaks. So starting off right away, the phone will have a bigger display, but the phone will be the exact same size. Let that sink in. The reason why is because, yes, while it has a bigger display, it's because of the bezels. With the Surface Duo 1, we saw the bezels are absolutely humongous, right? They're two gigantic black bars at the top and bottom of the phone, and to be honest, I don't really have an issue with them, but some people do, and that's definitely something that they are changing with the Surface Duo 2. As you guys can see on your screen, he did make the bezels very, very small, and a lot smaller than the Surface Duo 1, not to a point though that I think we're going to see them. And what I mean by that is I do believe that we might even see on this phone, let's say on the right hand screen here, right, we could see one or two things happen. First off, we might just see kind of what the Galaxy S21 did, where we just saw like a punch hole camera right here in the middle, with just a little punch hole camera, maybe a microphone or a speaker jack right next to it, and that is all. Or what we could see is a notch, kind of like how the iPhone 12 Pro Max looks. So for example, right, we go ahead and my iPhone's absolutely turned on for some reason. We could see the similar concept to this. We have a little notch in the middle, and the rest of it is all display. And honestly, that would look absolutely beautiful in my opinion. If they just put a little notch right here, right, and they cut this right, what he has right here, they cut this in half to pretty much almost zero bezels, and the whole entire phone is a display. I think that would look absolutely gorgeous. I think a lot of people would be excited about that, and a lot of people would be for that idea, in my opinion. You can tell me down below your thoughts and opinions on that one. But anyway, though, he does do a really good job. Now, based on what he shows, and obviously what we can see from here, is that the outside display or the outside of the phone is this plastic type material. It doesn't look as cheaply made as the last edition, the first edition of the Surface Duo. How obviously it was really cheaply made. Literally, the USB-C port was breaking for like everybody. It looks like it's a little bit better. In his renders, it's the exact same plastic around the whole entire phone, it looks like, which obviously would be quite disappointing if that was the case, because that plastic is very flimsy and it breaks very, very easily. And I'm hoping we see a tougher plastic with the Surface Duo 2. This looks like it's a little bit tougher plastic than the Surface Duo 1. Like I said, though, you know, if this is the biggest issue is the cheap plastic on the side and around the phone, and we get a better phone overall, yeah, definitely would be a lot better. Now, I will say in his renders, this camera bump actually looks, in my opinion, like it's a little bit smaller. It might not be, actually. I'd say it looks a little bit smaller than when it looks like when it leaks. Is it? It definitely is. Okay, yeah. So he made a lot smaller of a camera bump than what we see with the leaks. This leak shows this camera bump, and I don't think I have the image right on the screen here. Yeah, I don't have the image. Actually, no, I do, right here. Yeah. Guys, that is not an understatement. This is what the iPhone 12 Pro Max looks like. You guys see that little camera bump? This is probably 4 times the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It might be a little bit bigger than the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And he definitely has a lot smaller, which for flush and purposes wise, it definitely looks a lot better when it's smaller. I'm hoping it's smaller, but I highly doubt it. Those renders, those leaked images definitely seem to be credible sources, so that probably is going to be what it looks like, in all honesty. It's going to look ugly as molasses. Now, something that is interesting, so he does have the USB-C port in the correct location on both renders here. This does kind of, and this might just be an angle thing, like the angle is just weird, because it looks like the top display is top display is actually smaller than the bottom display. That might just be a angles thing, like the way we're looking at it, right? Just when I first saw this picture, I'm like, is that top one different than the bottom one? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Right here, another interesting thing. So, like I said, his camera bump is a lot smaller, because you guys can see there's only a tiny, tiny little bit of a gap right here. In reality, with the camera bump, this would be probably like, I want to say I won't do too crazy, but probably like that much of a gap. It would be a little bit more of a gap than this. Now, obviously, it's just a render, so I'm not like, critiquing every little thing is in. This has to be perfect, but it's definitely something to take note that there will be a bigger camera bump when it comes to the actual phone, and we will see a bigger gap than that. So if that big gap's an issue to you, might not be the phone for you. And this is the final picture he has rendered of all. He has 4 different colors. Based on what we understand, we know there's gonna be a white and a black model. We don't know about a violet, and I can't think of that color. I know that color's name. I can't think of the color's name. Anyway, though, let's go. Yeah, so we only know the 2 model colors wise. We don't know about the other ones. Obviously, we know it's coming out early October, and I'm very, very excited about it, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. I really, really cannot wait for this phone. And we are probably exactly 2 months away from this phone releasing, and this should be a really, really good phone. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.